Here, here, Bessie, here. Sit, Bessie, sit. My poor dog keeps saying, oh, come on, I want to go hunting. I'm fed up with this messing around all summer long. It's about time we went hunting. I quite agree with him, but we've got a few more weeks yet to go before we actually start doing any serious hunting. In the first place. And then when the dog's on point, knowing there's a pheasant, partridge or grouse there, we take the hood off the falcon. The falcon then climbs to a great height when we're out hunting. And then, when the falcon's looking the wrong way, we ask then the dog to push the quarry out. See, we don't want to catch the prey, the quarry. We want to see a dramatic chase. It's always when the quarry's getting away that you see the most dramatic flights. So that's why you need to be able to control the situation. You can't just walk around the field willy-nilly with a bird in your fist and something suddenly gets up because you don't have time to control the flight. So use the dog. Now the other reason we need a dog is because if the falcon does make a kill, it often happens 200 or 300 yards away from you amongst the gorse, the bracken, the long grass, and you need to get to your bird quickly before it eats too much, otherwise the bird is fed up and that's the end of your hunting for the day. And more to the point, you're spoiling the pheasant or the partridge or the grouse for me. So you need to get there fairly quickly. So you train your dog to go in and sit by the falcon. And the bird shouldn't be worried by this. A well-trained bird, we'll try and show you. Now we're not hunting this bird at the moment, he's got another few weeks to go before he finishes his molt. Still got new feathers coming through at the moment. Still quite a few. But we're getting used to the idea of hunting, and that's why we're putting his hood on now. You don't need the hood on a bird this time of year because the bird is not down his hunting weight. He's only opportunity weight. Whereas the opportunity of easy feed I provide, I wouldn't go hunting for it. But when the bird is down to hunting weight, we take him out in the field. If you haven't got a hood on him, every 2 seconds he's going, I'm off, I can see one, I can see one, I can see one. And jumping off your fist all over the place. Because they've got brilliant eyesight. And that's why they wear the hood. But it's no good on day one saying, okay, we're going hunting today, on goes the hood. After you haven't worn it for 6 months, like you wear a new pair of boots when you're going hiking. It's the same sort of principle. So occasionally we just put the hood on the bird to... wait a minute. So we're getting used to it again. Now, it's always 2 movements. One is the undoing of the braids, which I've just done, and then the lifting off of the hood. You never do it in one movement, otherwise the bird, every time you go to touch the bird's head, you think it's coming off instantly, and he tries helping you by rattling his head around. And then you can never get close enough to the braids to do it back up again or undo it. You can see how wide the bird is, even though he hasn't had the hood for some time on. Hooding is no problem to a bird, provided it's done properly. It's like putting a blanket over a horse's head to lead them through a fire. They don't worry about it. And the falcons don't worry if it's done properly. There is a stage, mind you, when the bird does try to see him get away with it. When you first acquire your bird, you can hood him fairly well. After about 2 weeks, the bird says, I want to get away with this. And he starts going, as you try to put the hood on. Never take up the challenge, because if he doesn't want the hood on, he'll beat you every time. All you do for a day or 2 is hoodwink him. Have you heard the expression hoodwink? Deceived? And what you do is you put a piece of meat in your gloved hand, you put the beak opening over the food, and guess what? The bird puts his own head in the hood to get to the food. So he's been hoodwinked, deceived while he's being fed. And that's where the term comes from. Anyway, let's get a bit of flying. I want the bird to go to the post first, where he should do his pre-flight checks. This is where the bird should puff himself up, give himself a damn good shake, then lay all the feathers back down again. You look after my hood for me, just put it down there. So he's puffing himself up, big shake, lays the feathers back down again, and then he should take off to ride a thermal, the updraft or something. None of it today. So what we're doing today, we're actually encouraging the bird to chase a leather pad with meat on it. Now, warn this bird's going to come close to you, and I mean close. I've never known a fit falcon flying to anybody. Yet. Feel the breeze. Oh, you late? Yes. One, come in. One. But a falcon has a lot of sustainable flight, especially when there's a bit of air out there to move on. But today, the bird's got to keep pumping all the time.
Whoa.
He's not able to lock his wings out and take a breather. So it can be hard work for the bird today. And hard work never killed anybody. Oh. This is how we keep our birds nice and fit. I know it looks as if we're tormenting this bird by keep pulling the lure away from it. But in the wild, the quarry doesn't sit there to be taken. The quarry's going to duck, dive, weave and jink. And we try simulating that with our lure swinging.
Whoa.
And that's how we keep them fit whilst they're molting. You see this bird's got, if you look closely on his left or right wing? Oh,
Man.
left wing. He's got the second primary is missing. Growing the new one. This is what's slowing him down a bit today. He lost a feather yesterday. Nothing to worry about. The biggest danger we have here is two people ducking at the same time, banging their heads together. Nobody's doing good at. But indeed, there's a very thin line between actually exercising your bird and then tormenting it. So I'm looking for an opportunity to land this bird now.
Think about the
Nothing to
sound.
worry about. Oh, hello, everyone. Come. Oh, get hello. Take the bird now. She's worked very hard for it today. Before we give anybody a heart attack around here. Oh! Down he comes. There's a falcon for you.
Oh, beautiful.
Right, now this is where the dog,
Dog.
come on, Bessie, make him Bessie. Go and find the falcon and sit by it, Bessie. Come on, hunting. Leave it. There's a down there somewhere. Bessie, leave it. Here. Look what I'm hunting yet. Come on. Make him. Bessie, sit. He said, there's something out of sequence here. First one, I'm supposed to go and find the pheasant first, and then I go and sit by the bird. Make him. Now sit, down. See how worried the bird is by the dog? They shouldn't be worried by each other. The bird is quite capable of carrying away what he's got. But if he did that, he'd become a carrier, then he'd go to the nearest tree, feed on it, and then I wouldn't be able to get my bird back because he'd be so fed up then. But had it been amongst the long grass, the dog would have run out there and sat by it. And you see how worried the bird is, carries on feeding. Nothing should frighten a well-trained bird. You shouldn't be able to frighten it. The falcon is number one in this team and knows it's number one. The dog is only number two. Never try taking a piece of meat from the kill or from the lure. Belongs to number one, the falcon. Dog is only number two. Sometimes thinks it's number one, but it's only number two. They both know that I'm number three, so we all know where we stand. Bessie, feet! Feet!
The bird is not moving.
Look at the deer! Yeah, the deer there. But
look at the deer.
A robbery. The whole of Falconry is built on trust. Now, had that been a pheasant or a partridge, we go in with another piece of meat, could be the head of a previous pheasant or partridge, and make an exchange. It wouldn't be a very fair exchange, but then I never said anything about it being a fair exchange. Just providing it comes over to the bird like an exchange and not a robbery. You've got to keep the trust in the bird at all times. Bessie, come on, here, make in, come on. Bessie, steady. Now sit. Behave yourself. Bessie, down. Down. Good dog. Good dog. So we go in, sit down, Bessie, behave yourself. I have more trouble with dogs than do with birds. We go in with our elbow nicely in, and what I'm trying to do is not to catch the bird, I'm trying to stop him flying away with what he's got. So what we do is we just slide our hand, when he takes a nice big beakful, we slide my hand straight over the kill or over the lure to hold it onto the ground until the bird steps over onto our fist. Then we can pick the bird up, get it under control. Then we should be able to pick the kill or the lure up, plenty of meat still on it, and show it to the bird. And the bird should say, no, thank you very much, I'm quite happy with what I've got. So it has been an exchange, not a robbery. Always give the dog a piece of meat from the kill or from the lure. Then he's got no reason to try taking it from the falcon when the falcon's on the ground.